path we tread, breaking through when no one's
Welcome to the My Next Startup Edge podcast, the podcast that gives your startup the edge. This is the podcast where we empower startups, innovators, and forward thinkers like you with actionable insights to raise funding, develop products, commercialize your innovation, and build your company. I'm Dirk Lammertz, your host. This is the very first episode of the My Next Startup Edge podcast. Make a resolution, break a resolution, or why you shouldn't make New Year's resolutions. I'm thrilled to kick off this journey with you, so let's get started. Now, today's topic might surprise you. It's a bit unconventional, but I promise it's powerful. We are going to talk about why you should not make New Year's resolutions. Yes, you heard that right. Stop making them. Instead, I will share a much better approach that will transform how you set goals and drive progress in both your personal and professional life. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Segment 1. The problem with resolutions. Here's a familiar scenario. You're sitting down on December 31st or January 1st, pen in hand, jotting down a long list of resolutions. Maybe it's to hit the gym more often, go out and raise your next round of financing, or launch that new product. Sounds familiar? But let me ask you this. How often do you actually follow through? If you're like most people, the answer is probably not very often. And here's the kicker. Not only are these resolutions ineffective, but they're also counterproductive. Let me explain. Think about what happens when you write down these lofty goals. It feels good, right? Almost like you've accomplished something just by listing them out. That's the first trap. Creating the list gives us a false sense of progress. It soothes that little voice in our head telling us we need to do better. But in reality, we haven't taken a single step toward actually doing those things. And then life happens. A few days, a few weeks, maybe even a few months into the new year, those resolutions start slipping. You miss a workout, then another one, because something else in your life feels more urgent. You keep working on the perfect pitch deck instead of getting in front of investors for your next financing round. That new product launch feels overwhelming, so it gets pushed back. And here's the crazy part. Nothing bad happens. Nobody calls you out. The world doesn't end. And that's when your brain gets the second dangerous signal. Defaulting on your promises is no big deal. It's a vicious cycle, and this is why most resolutions fade into oblivion by the end of March. What happens most of the time is you make a resolution, you break a resolution. Segment 2. A better approach. So what's the alternative? How do we break free from this ineffective habit of making and breaking resolutions? It's actually quite simple. Instead of writing down resolutions, focus on two things: action and timing. Number 1, action. Stop planning and start doing. Have a bias for action. What does that mean? A bias for action is all about cultivating a mindset that prioritizes doing over deliberating. It means that when faced with a decision or challenge, a bias for action makes you take steps forward, even in the face of uncertainty, rather than getting bogged down by analysis or fear of failure. Startups and successful entrepreneurs thrive on this principle. They understand that waiting for perfect information or flawless conditions often results in missed opportunities. Instead, they act, experiment, and adapt along the way. A bias for action doesn't mean recklessness. It means valuing progress over perfection. It's about building momentum and learning through doing. Think about the companies you admire. They didn't succeed by sitting on ideas or waiting for just the right moment. That's the power of a bias for action. And number 2, timing. Act in real time. If you know you need to make a change, don't wait for some arbitrary date like January 1st. The best time to implement a change is the moment you realize it's necessary. Don't postpone progress to match a calendar. Let's face it, January 1st isn't magical. What's magical is your ability to act decisively when it matters most. Momentum is your best friend, while passage of time is the worst enemy of every startup. Think how this applies to your startup. When you notice a bottleneck in your operations, fix it now. Don't wait for the end of the quarter. When you see a new market opportunity, explore it now. Don't wait until the next strategic planning session. These are the habits that separate high-performing teams and leaders from the rest. Segment 3. Practical tips for action-driven progress. Alright, let's make this actionable. Here are 3 tips to embrace this new mindset and drive real progress. Number 1. Start small. Big changes can feel overwhelming, so break them down into smaller, manageable actions. Instead of saying, "I'll completely revamp my marketing strategy," commit to reaching out to one potential partner or writing one blog post this week. Number 2, build accountability. Share your goals with someone who will hold you to them. This could be a mentor, a colleague, or your team. Accountability creates urgency and keeps you focused. Number 3, celebrate wins. Recognize and celebrate the progress you make, no matter how small. Each step forward builds momentum and reinforces your commitment to action. So as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. Resolutions don't drive change, actions do. Procrastination is the fear of starting. Perfectionism is the fear of finishing. Productivity is the result of overcoming those fears. By focusing on what matters most and acting immediately, you'll achieve far more than any New Year's list could ever promise. Go and make it happen. No resolutions required. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of the My Next Startup Edge podcast. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe and share this podcast within your network. And hey, if there's a topic you'd like us to tackle in a future episode, drop me a message. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and turning innovation into impact. Let's make things happen, starting now.
In the shadows, ideas ignite. A spark of brilliance cuts through the night. Chasing dreams, the edge of the unknown. Building futures, foundations of stone. Start a path.